science tells us that if we want to be healthy, it's in our very best interests to make pleasure a priority. And I want to speak about why. To get into the why, we need to understand a little bit more about how our bodies function and how stress affects us. So those three hormones share the credit or blame for most of the changes that are caused by stress in the body. And it's the mechanism of how the body releases these hormones that explains why we can't be stressed and happy and content at the same time. So I'm going to give you a very brief anatomy nervous system lesson, because our nervous system is composed of the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And the peripheral nervous system is both the somatic, that's the nervous system that deals with managing our movements voluntarily, and the autonomic nervous system. And this is the part of us that controls our heart, the smooth muscle around our organs, our glands, and it's involuntary. We don't have conscious control over our autonomic nervous system. And there's two branches of the autonomic nervous system which send messages to and from the brain along different pathways. And those are called the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And these two branches cause the release of very different chemicals governing very different and opposing physiological and emotional states. So the sympathetic is the fight or flight system. It upregulates the body to prepare it to fight or flee to safety when in danger. It's the part of the nervous system that's activated when the tiger walks out of the jungle and you know you have to do something very quickly. The parasympathetic nervous system is the part of us that down-regulates the body and returns it to its ability to digest, rest, repair. And the parasympathetic pathways, on the whole, calm the heart rate, lower the blood pressure, and support digestion, etc. Now, in the normal day, we are naturally designed to move between these two systems in quite a rhythmic way. The cycles are called ultradian rhythms, and you may well be familiar with them. So normally we actually go into a cycle, and we're all different how our cycles go, but we have cycles of going into high top performance state. They usually last for about 90 minutes, as you can see on the diagram. And then we go down into a recovery space. And in an ideal world, we will be changing our focus from high level focus to more diffuse focus, more relaxation activities. And these rhythms work differently for different people, as in the timing is different for different people. But if you think carefully at your day, you will probably note that there are times when you're really on and times when you feel like you need to relax. The other challenge about today's fast-paced world is that our overstimulated lifestyles tend to lead to really chronic stress. We tend to be actually a bit addicted to being in that sympathetic nervous system dominated space. So we've got to do, we've got to run, we've got to achieve. And then things like caffeine and all of the media and smartphones and our busy lifestyles all upregulate us as well. So our bodies are tending to forget about that down regulation, and that is when we start to get beyond stress and into a disease cycle. And in fact, they say that 80% or more of diseases have been shown to be stress related. Now, for women, it's particularly important that we regulate our stress, because we produce twice as much cortisol as men do. And we really need to create a way of working that allows our bodies periods of down-regulating, cortisol-reducing parasympathetic time. So how do we activate our parasympathetic nervous system? You've probably guessed it, pleasure. Every experience of pleasure activates your immune system, providing a measurable and enduring boost to your body's natural defenses. A single moment of pleasure has been shown to be able to boost your immune response for up to 6 hours. But we don't want to just be at the whim of pleasure showing up in our life. It doesn't just happen to us, and nor does it not happen to us. We are able to take charge and actively choose to cultivate pleasure in our lives and in our relationships.